But otherwise, ladies, let's begin our practice in child's pose. And we're just going to reach our arms out overhead with no effort for the beginning of our child's pose and try to really melt into our mats and connect with our breaths. And as you're making your way there, I would like to share this beautiful little, I'm stuck on these cards again. I have these moments where I go through my Power Thought cards by Louise Hay, and I deep dive back into them and just read through for inspiration. So this one that I wanted to read to you this morning actually starts with, my work is deeply fulfilling. And if you're not working, that's okay, because our practice is our work, so our yoga practice. Today I give my best to that which I do, knowing that when one experience is complete, I am led to even more fulfilling and rewarding experiences. If we give all to our yoga practice, our day will be more rewarding and fulfilling. And I'll meet you in child's pose. So I asked for just the softest arms because oftentimes we just jump into our practice and everything starts to get really energized immediately, and it's hard to check in with our breath that way. So let's soften, possibly even connecting the space in between our eyebrows or middle of forehead, about third eye, into the mat, and giving it a soft little roll. Roll around like you have a little rolling pin across your forehead. And that way we can even soften any of those beautiful lines, those memory story lines on our forehead. Flip your palms up, your thumbs would turn out and still so soft. Act as if you could melt down into the mat. If it feels comfy for you, knees can widen and then you can let your belly fall in between your thighs. And if our knees are feeling tender at all in any postures today, when we're on the floor, we can place a thin little blanket or pillow underneath. In our child's pose, we can place a blanket or a pillow under our buns in between our heels for extra cushioning and support. Let's bring our palms together in prayer, sending the fingertips long and beginning to build some energy in our arms. And our thumbs would fold to the base of our necks. If they don't quite make it, that's okay. They can point skywards. As we begin to energize, we're going to feel a little bit more into our triceps. Thumbs towards nape of neck might be intense for shoulders. And if that's the case, just energize fingers as you reach out overhead. One more big breath in here. Let's begin to engage our pelvic floor region. It's as if you're stopping the flow of urine. So we're just going to pull everything up and in, up towards our midline, like we're giving ourselves a hug right in the center of our bodies. Re-extend arms into prayer overhead. Separate them when you're ready and close your knees so we can swivel our hips to the right side. We're just going to swing them over to the right. Press back towards heels. Give a little swing around that corner a couple times. Reach hands over to the left and see if you can settle back and down for a moment of stillness here. Hoping to feel an intense right side stretch. Swivel back to the center. Press your hips over to the left, but then give them a little playful swing. Kind of like a puppy dog would just swing his tail around in excitement. Hands walk over to the right side. Oh, and then ease your hips back. Settle your nose down towards the floor. Breathe deeply into your left side. I love envisioning space making, so you could think about your ribs lifting from one another. Your bottom rib lifting from your hip bone. And those dark spaces become filled with beautiful white energetic light. Back to the center. Shift your hips up just a tiny bit so you can swivel your heels towards the right side and then ease back again. Lift up into a tabletop-ish position, hands under shoulders or somewhere close, and then peek around the corner towards your toes on the right side. Really opening into a beautiful C shape here. Come back to center. Sit back into about 3/4 of the way child's pose. Take your heels over to the left and see if you can ease your buns back. Rise up into kind of a tabletop, almost there anyway, and then peek around the corner to the left. Make a big C shape with your right side now. Right back into the center, staying in tabletop this time. Let's tuck our chins to our chests, and then really start to round up through the upper back. Peel your shoulder blades apart. Squeeze your belly together. Exhale completely. And then inhale, navel to floor, tailbone top of head to sky. Let's flow that with our breath. A little angry cat and a beautiful cow, which I've decided should be called camel instead, because doesn't this really resemble more of a camel than a cow's back? I know it's confusing because we already have a camel, but if I could rename something in the yoga world, it would be this posture. Then make it really fluid. If you feel like, ooh, you want to twist to the right a little bit, twist to the left, use your ribs to push to the sides or start to bend your elbows. Possibly coming forward and back a little bit as you're rolling through your cat-cow. We're just saying good morning to our spines and encouraging the energy channels along our spine to wake up and join us for our practice. Play with really tucking your chin in, maybe dropping an ear to a shoulder, opposite way. And then as we continue, let's move our hands just a tad or a whole lot. We can spin fingers any degree, possibly back towards our knees, and we can also flip our palms. So I want you to do what works for you. Like I have a funky one going on. I've got one palm faced up, fingers in, one palm faced up, fingers back, and then just try a little bit of movement. Splay your fingers open wide if you can. Move your fingers in a different direction, or if we only had one palm flip, try the other way. The further we sit back when we warm up our wrists, the easier it is. If I want to make it a bit more challenging, I sink a little further forward, and then I try. Okay, and before we really move today, my friends, a tricky one for us. Take your palms facing up, the backs of your hands to your mat, and your middle fingers are facing one another, so it looks like this on the mat. Remember, sit back if this is real intense, forward if you want more, soften your shoulders if you can, and then attempt to make a fist. Ooh, as you do, it's really hard to get the thumbs closed. Try. Don't hurt yourself or force anything, but just try. And then flick them back open. Try again. Make a little fist. Can your fingers touch the inner hand? Can your thumb wrap to the middle finger? Open again. Bend your elbows so we're really soft in our face. But I really love the feeling you get on the tendons in your wrist. You can really feel everything getting very warm. Let's try 4 more. Great job, ladies. Okay, the wrists might be ready or they may be a little tired. You decide. Put them back down, see how they feel. Tuck all 10 toes under. And if you need fists here because your wrists have really gotten tired, take those. Lift your knees. Press your hips back to your heels. And we're just hovering here a little bit. Knees are coming off the ground. Getting ready to rise. If you have fists, make them flat palms. Scoop your hips back and up for a really short little down dog, so we're not very wide. Swing your hips around. Try to ease into your hamstrings and your back body stretching. Just do whatever the spirit's moving you to do. And then with your shortened stance, take your right fingertips for a little swivel. Make a half moon. Try to touch back on your right ankle. You can drag fingers along your area, or you can hover them like a little hovercraft, right over your floor, forward and back. 3-limbed dog, shortened stance, and we're waking up our shoulders. Last big sweep around. Short down dog. When your left hand is ready, we're gonna hover, or just maybe tent fingers and then swivel around. Try to go for left pinky toe, maybe your left ankle. Elevate fingers if it feels good. Still easing back here, my friends. Use your right hand to press you back. Always optional. We can hold down dog. Last big circle. Okay, let's go into a big down dog, really wide. So wide and long, I should say. Stepping your legs back and also walking your hands forward. Wide is a little scary and new, so if we need to tap our knees down at any time, we always can. But when you're ready, are you able to lift your left toes? How's that feeling? Can we lift a little higher in your wide down dog? Can you fall to your left forearm? It's okay if you can't, but when you do, stretch back out long through your right arm. And if we haven't landed our forearm, that's quite all right. We're just staying in our three-legged or regular down dog. Try to rise back up to full hands. Maybe need to tap the knees down there. Lower back into wide downward facing dog. Right toes hover. Let's find length. Press out through your right heel. Drop to right forearm if it's available to us, and then extend your left arm forward and out. Now I could be on my knees. I can extend my leg back like a three-legged table, drop my forearm and stretch my left arm out here. Make any modifications necessary through your practice. Rising back up to hands, touch back toes down, and let's find a comfy dog. Whatever stance is usually our favorite, maybe a little in between that narrow and wide we just tried. One breath. Lift your heels. Tippy toe walk all the way into the very tops of your mats, and I'll meet you there. Please heel toe your feet up 2 steps wider. So we're just a bit wider than our hip bones here, and we're forward folding. Great time to place something under our bellies, a blanket or a pillow for extra support. If possible, hang on to opposite biceps and let your head, your crown, pulse towards the floor. My knees are as bent as I need them to be to support my hamstring to begin to open and stretch. So if I'm resting my chest on my thighs, I may not have much bouncing ability. That's okay. Your body may let you in. Start to pull kneecaps higher into your thighs for a straighter leg. And then bend both knees again. Twist to the right. Right elbow towards right heel. Twist around the corner to the left. Left elbow, left heel. Just a little swivel. We're going to attempt, ladies, to keep our chins tucked, crowns towards the floor. It can get a little discombobulating. So if you need to slow down your swivel and lift your head to regain your widths, go for it. When you're ready, slowing our turns, coming to center, fingertips tent to the floor, and we lift halfway, just getting your balance back. Things get a little churned in the mind when we twist, so take a second. Left finger stay down, right arm reaches to the side. If I can bend my left knee, I might be able to twist my right arm up to the sky. Wherever you're twisted, we're gonna pulse. We're thinking about right fingertips. Lift a little, release a little. Lift, release. Just getting a really beautiful massage for our digestive system. We want things to be consistent and smooth there. So we're awakening that area as well. 3 more. 2 and 1. Refold, tenting fingertips. Let your whole crown fall towards the floor though. Relift into halfway when you're ready. Right fingers stay down, left fingers go anywhere. A little hover to the side wall. Bend your right knee if possible, and then reach your left fingertips just a little bit further up. When it feels right, let's begin our little pulse. Left fingers lift, lower. And if I'm on the ground, I'm still twisting. Belly might be turning. Maybe think about navel to the left. Release. Using our breath, think about hugging all those little squeezes on your digestive organs down there. 3. Long in the side bodies, long in neck. Last one, reach all the way to the floor. Refold, my friends, and clasp your hands behind your low back. Remember, I can have super bent knees, chest resting on them, thumbs rest on low back, and let your crown fall. When you're ready, start to hover your thumbs off your low back. With soft micro bent elbows, I rise behind my back or to the sky and breathe to comb tension out of shoulders and neck. I like to try a little movement here. Can you shrug your shoulder blades down towards your spine? It's hard to do, but pull your shoulders up away from your earlobes. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. One more. Look a little bit more forward. Get your wits about you before your eyes. We're going to rise to downhill skier. Lift your chest, hover it above the earth, parallel to the earth, and then really start to open top of head away from tailbone. Soft micro bend in elbows, downhill skier action here. Arms rise all the way overhead, chair pose, stay in your chair. And then bend your elbows, see if you can hold. If not, just hands, wrists, or forearms. All right, welcome to your practice. Inhale, arms lift overhead, extended mountain pose. Exhale, fall to the right side just a little. Now soften your knees, and can you go whoop? If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Tip to the left. Soften your knees, maybe just go whoop. Inhale, rise. Tip to the right. When you're ready, whoop. Inhale, lift. Tip left, and if it feels great, we're gonna fall all the way down to the floor. So you might wanna widen up your legs, bend your knees a little more, tip right, swing to the floor, rise to sky. Left tip, big swing, rise. One more each way. I can certainly just do my arms if I have a tendency to get dizzy today or any day. Left side, back into the center, step a little wider, almost as wide as your mat, and open your body up. Soften knees, squeeze buns, and see if you can arch back. Up first, and then back and open. Yes, big, beautiful breath in. Coming into center, palms fall to heart center, and we sit in any squat. It may be a little one, might be a really intense one just above knees, or a yogi squat. Beautiful. Refold, tuck your nose towards your knees. Crown to floor in our yogi squat, halfway lift, and then rise to the sky. Wide-legged lift. 3 more like that with your breath. Falling on the exhalation. Stop anywhere. Inhalation lights us up. Really helps us rise and shine today. 2 more. Big breath. Last one at your pace. Please do move as fast or as slow as it feels great for you today. From here, we either do a little walk, funky walk, or we just jump our feet in, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. All right, let's get our bodies warm. Right leg, take a giant step back, softly landing, soft, slow control. Allow your knee to melt unless it's really bothering you. Place something soft under there or just keep it elevated. Remember our pulsing twists? Left arm rises, anywhere, right? I could even place it on my left knee. Light on my right hand. Think about right ribs to left thigh. Let's lift, lift, twist, release a little. Twist, ribs to thigh, release. Soft on the right hand, soft in facial muscles. Back into our digestive loving. 3. If my shoulders are not feeling great with straight arms, I can release into a goalpost. Last big twist, open, hold for an extra breath. Top arm floats down. Push back to downward facing dog. You're welcome to push back to table, then child's, then dog. You choose your path today. When you feel ready, inhale forward into a soft plank, and let's use our mind positively today. Thinking here about being strong, balanced, controlled, and in charge, as opposed to thinking negative plank thoughts like, oh, so hard, just float around. You're free, you can do this. Knees lower if you'd like, chest towards the elbows, coming down for chaturanga, and then to the floor we go. A little alternate leg and arm action. So stretch your arms overhead, make them tense with a hollow heel of hand. Tops of feet really electrify and toenails press down. Tuck your chin, fall the mirror up under your nose. Reach right fingers and left toes out long and up. Let them release. Left fingers, right toes out long, up, up. And then start to switch with your breath. Inhale, exhale. We always want to think about length over height. So I'm really going to stretch out like I have my friend pulling my fingertips and my toes forward and back. Lengthen. Controlling the release. Make it really slow. 3 more. 2 and 1. Beautiful. Hands glide back under. Shoulders are somewhere close. Press back to child's pose. Take a second to roll through any child's that we need, any little swings or sways. Tuck toes, do the same when you find your dog. Any movements necessary. Right toes lift a little bit or a lot, or a whole bunch. And then when you're ready, look forward. Crunch your knee in towards your nose. If possible, step between thumbs. I like to get really light on my right hand to give myself room. I can also help my foot forward. Back leg, can we float it to the sky and hold? Just a little pulse. Even if we just lift here, a little bit higher, wherever you are. Lift and pulse. Come up a little bit longer through each side body. Open your chest. We have 4 more. 3 more. Remember length. Press your toes out. Open your cute yogi toes. Back leg steps to fold. Release fully. Rise up so slowly. Remember that nature doesn't really hurry anything, but it all seems to get accomplished somehow. So just like nature, we're going to slow down for this last sun salutation. Arms rise in your time. Exhale, forward fold. How does it feel good? Do you want to tip left and just go whoo and swing? Make it your own. Halfway lift, fingers dangle off the floor. They rest on shin, somewhere where you're super comfy. Release back to the earth and fold. Left leg steps back, but goes so long and so soft. Use your muscles. Once you get adjusted, do I want kneeling lunge or high lunge? Light on my left fingertips, and my right arm finds a twist of some sort. I could even hold my right thigh. Left ribs to right thigh. We ready to twist? So we go ribs to thigh, release a little, twist and breathe, release a little. If I'm using my arm, I could think about lift fingers, release. Eyes are always looking wherever our neck is so comfy. Path of least resistance for sure. So if I keep my neck long, might feel a little more energized. 3, 2, and 1. Top arm floats down. Just pause for a sec. Find your dog. No matter where you stop on the way, pressing back and meeting us eventually. With all of the movements or all of the breath-filled stillness, find your favorite positioning. Rolling forward in your time. Dropping to knees if you'd like, or staying in a hover. Remember, thinking positive thoughts. I am strong. I can carry on. Chaturanga. Arms overhead again. Reach all the way out with our tented fingertips. And once you get there, tuck your chin, fog up your mirror, energize your toes. Thumbs come up on both hands. Palms are facing one another. Start to lift both if possible. Thumbs and toes up. And then release to hover or touch the ground. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Now my neck is very long. I have no wrinkles in the back of my neck. Tuck chin, fogging up my mirror. And if it's tough, guys, then just lift thumbs, then toes. Or we can continue as we started with alternating sides. We have 3 more. Use your breath. Last one. Great job, guys. Bring hands somewhere back to ease you into your child's pose. Give it a little swing, a little sway. Reward your back for that hard work. Down dog when you're ready. Same here, whatever you're craving, it's your practice. Go for it. Left leg lifts wherever it feels so long, so energized. Look forward, draw knee in, big crunch, big crunch. Landing in lunge. You can always kneel. Back leg. We're gonna elevate like a feather, and then some wind is pulsing it up to the sky. So I like to reach fingertips forward, lift my chest, and then I feel like I have a little bit more play with the back leg. It could be on the floor, lift, tap, lift. Okay, side body's long, belly's in, breath is full. We have 4 more. 2 more. Back leg steps in. When you can, we fold deeply. Give your head a gigantic no shake, but soft, soft and gentle. No time for tension in our lives, ladies. And let's move on. Shake it a yes. Building up some strength as we rise this time. Slow your head down. Find stillness, and as we rise, we're finding chair. Arms reach up and overhead if possible. Bend elbows. We're holding somewhere. I would love if you could get your elbows. If your ponytail's in the way, push it out. And you know, if this is too much, you can always go anywhere else. But we're sinking into our chair. Really sink. When you sunk, did your chest sink too? Lift up through your chest. Beautiful. These arms are our new best friend. So whatever arms you have are great. One more big breath in. Right leg steps back just as slow as we did a second ago. Really step back, tap down for your lunge, and then rotate to blade edge of that foot, energizing the arch and the inner thigh. Warrior two with some new arms. All right, my friends, try to peel your left knee out toward your baby toe. Finding openness as if you could. You're welcome to use your hands. Check in and feel that all of this is spreading wide open. When it feels great, tip back, reverse your warrior. These arms are really challenging, so change them whenever you need. Back into the center, lengthen up, crown of head away from tail, elbows away from shoulders, and tip into extended warrior two to the left side. Rebend left knee. Can you take your right armpit and roll it open? Search for daylight up there past that elbow. Center, one more round, I know you can. Relax something, might be the grip of your jaw. Tip to the right. Relax something, might be the wiggle in your left toes. Center, tip left. Relax something. It's a lot of effort here. Can you wiggle your fingers? Into the center we go. Felt great. Arms rise, falling into normal warrior two. Give your shoulders a shimmy. Do the wave, whatever feels good. Rotate all the way down, big cartwheel through the arms, back toes turn in, down dog. But you know I'm welcome to drop my knee. Come here, whatever I need, down dog. Rolling into plank, kneeling plank or tabletop plank. Bowing, chaturanga, tricep push-up, however we can get to the earth. And once we're there, yogis, fingertips come out wide to our sides. Show you this from the front. Wide to the sides, iguana fingertips. We have our tent and we're pulling our fingertips together. Soften up your legs, unclench your butt cheeks, tuck your chin, fold your mirror, and lift from the back of your neck. I'm using my fingers a little bit, not much. I really want to use my back body. Lower down. One more like that, straight lift up. And then lower down. Are you able to roll now? Tuck chin to chest. Roll chin up and then come back down for undulating cobra. Think of a lizard and how they can move their neck so freely with their cute little lizard toes. One more round. You know you have all the options we've done before. Pressing back, child's dog, whatever floats your boat. Let's all meet in downward facing dog. Right leg lifts for wherever feels great, three-legged dog. Take your knee out to the right side and then arc your knee around towards your right pinky finger. So I could get stuck and then I would just help my leg on up there if possible. Wide lunge, kneeling or not. But I want to take my really light tented fingertips to pull myself forward. I feel all that beautiful spinal length, all the hip opening. Breathe one more time into your pelvic bowl. Left leg steps up. Ready to squat, whatever makes you feel really happy today. One more breath. Same as we started, wide leg, forward fold. Roll to stand. Arms up and overhead, extended mountain pose. Do your little walk on in, or step your feet in, or jump them in. Chair. Sitting in it, folding our elbows back to phase one. Remember our chest? Really lift. Wonderful. One more sit. One more lift through the upper body. Left leg takes a giant step back, but so soft, guys. Really use your balance skills. Rotate around that corner. Find your warrior two. And if it just doesn't feel right, you can drop your hands and figure yourself out. Like, see where you need some energy, where you need some release. Back knee soft, but energized here. Energized in through the right thigh, but soften right toes. Ready when you are. Tip on back, reverse warrior. Tip on over to the opposite side, extended warrior two. Now, if our knees are especially cranky, I may be up really high with just a soft micro bend. But if that's accidentally happening every time you move, remember to sink back down. Twice more here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pause in the middle if you felt like you got a little crunched. It's so nice to pause, extend. And our last round of breath. Great. All the way over. Awesome. Back into the center. This one's going to feel great. Let your shoulders open out. Feel extra heavy, right? Now just kind of release. Do the wave, whatever feels good. Definitely open and close your fingers. In your time, windmill arms down. Rotate left toes in. Find a lunge. Find a down dog. We'll meet you when you can. No rush. Coming into our planks. Exhaling all the way forward and down to lie on our bellies. So we know we have all the options. We could do our Pilates swimmers. Both hands, both legs. Undulating cobras. Or if we're ready for a little more, hands under shoulders or somewhere close to boost you into straight arms, knees and thighs lifted, up dog. Doesn't have to be all the way up, huh? We can stop anywhere. One more breath wherever you are. One more exhalation, and this time ease back. Downward facing dog. Left leg hovers when you're ready, or it might open all the way to the sky if that's speaking to you. Knee turns to the left side, arcs around the corner to find, foot at left pinky finger. So easy to say, so hard to do. So when you get there, do you want to kneel, or do you feel great up top? Definitely get light on fingers and pull yourself forward. I always envision a turtle there. Pull your turtle head out, kind of peek around. Free up your neck. Right foot joins the party when you're ready. Steps right outside, and we squat. Any squat that feels good. If you're in a yogi squat and the prayer hands are just like, you want a little more, you can tent your fingertips. You can do this up high too, if you can get your elbows to your knees. Or you can interlace your knuckles. That's a nice one. And then push. Everyone folds. If toes are really turned out, turn them in a little. Wide-legged fold, crown to floor, surrender to the stretch, and then roll up to standing. Arms wide. Remember our back bend? Soft knees, tight buns, lifted up as tall as possible, arms wide, and then back bend. Arms overhead can be way too much. Bring them to heart center. Bring them to hips, low back, wherever you can really lift. Release back to mountain pose. Toe heel in. Ready for a beautiful balance? When you're ready, right toes come forward, and we're attempting arms overhead. Lift up, lengthen. Sweep right toes to the side, just kind of dragging them along the floor. Sweep behind you. Stay lifted in your chest here. But remember that we want to keep our ribs down towards our hip bones. So sometimes we get like this. We want to stay really strong in the low back, long in the low back. Coming back forward, you're continuing to drag unless you're ready to lift. Inhale, sweep to the side. Sweep behind, stay lifted, but crunched ribs towards hips, so I'm not splayed open. Try twice more like that. We can drag forward or we can knee lift. Extend, whatever feels good. Lots of breath, ladies. Might want a knee lift, and then I can take my knee all the way around. Last go at it. From behind, stay lifted and fold your body into warrior three. Your arms may not be ready to go overhead, so swing them around the corners, towards your toes, to your hips or to your heart center. Really find your favorite spot. If we'd rather have toes on the floor today, go for it. When you're ready, right arm reaches overhead from wherever it is, and then swap. Right arm back, left arm overhead. Just some beautiful swimming arms, making warrior three a little bit more entertaining and fun. Oh, it's such a challenge, so I like to incorporate something really freeing and uplifting into it. Breathe in and breathe out. My friends, one more challenge. Rise to sky, big knee lift, or right toe tap to the floor. Arms up, eyes up, knees up if you can. Let it go. Ooh. Okay, shake out, roll or rub or massage anything that needs it. Let your toes be free when you're ready. Let's do this. Arms are going to try to rise. Left toes, just taking it around the corner for one little swivel. Taking it down, we're actually dragging foot on floor. And if you're ready, when you come forward, a little lift, same path. Just giving it a little more oomph. We have 2 more, so we're gonna try to go. Yes. When we stay back, remember what our ribs do. Good. Nice, nice, nice. On this last round, when we're ready, if we get back to our little glute squeeze, we begin to fold forward, and I can just sail right into Warrior 3 if it feels great. If I need an alternative, my toes would be down, my hands would find a new spot that they love. And then the left arm sweeps forward. Big breath in. Sweeps back as right arm sweeps forward. Alternating these super free flowing arms. Play with your thumbs. Do you want to open them up, out, down? See how that changes how your shoulder feels, how your shoulder opens as you continue filling them up with breath. Last swim. Final challenge. Lift your left knee or your toes. Rise to stand. Lift your arms overhead. I know you can. Exhale, release. Super, guys. Woo. So the right leg may be a little cranky. Give it what it needs, a rub, just some attention, some kick. All right, let's move on. Arms left. Let's find the earth however it speaks to you today. So I could fold and then come down. I'm gonna sit, or I might want to tiptoe stand from my standing position. I could lift my heels as much as I want. My buns come back to my heels as my knees come forward. Arms are anywhere. And then I could fall from here. I'm gonna split my knees open, reach forward, and fall back. So once you're on your buns, congrats, you made it. Let's go right leg forward or on top, but I'm gonna lean back and ask my leg, where do you wanna go today, leg? So wherever it lands is great. If you need things to prop up and make things feel better, please place blocks, books, pillows, blankets. And then scoot your buns so that flesh comes out from under sits bones and we can ground and anchor in. Side bends. This is my favorite part of the practice today, yogis. Fingers really soft. Sweep them behind us, facing back, and then just breathe and open. Find opening in the heart space, clavicle smiles, throat feels really newly energized. Open it up. Sweep fingertips back to your sides. Right hand stays down, but the left arm lifts to any degree. Might come up and over, and don't be shy. Spin around. Do what feels good. Stillness is also beautiful. Left hand falls, right arm rises. I can do anything freeing in the upper body, but I want to make sure that my sits bones are really grounded. So as my left arm rises, especially my left sits bone stays down. And then if it feels a little too normal, let's spin it around the front. Stay glued in through sits bones. Swim around, arms rise. Swim around, arms rise. The best, right? And it might be little in your world today because if your back bothers you, that could be really challenging movement. So we make it tiny. We make it slow and full of breath. When you get back over to your left arm being lifted, tipping to the right, stay for an extra breath. And if it's available to you, top arm falls. Again, I turn my fingers back because what does it do to your shoulders? But you find your own way. And then try to turn navel towards right big toe. Lift. Feels too good to leave, I hope. You're welcome to stay. But I would like us to swish out that tension. So I'm again gonna lean back with fingers facing wherever I like. Let my legs do their own thing, but if you're stuck, of course, help your legs out. And then let them swish, just a little. Bit of a windshield wipe, but then we're gonna let them fall, if possible. Falling to the right, but then uplifting my body, if I can. Falling back, legs left, uplift my body. So that if I'm able to, I might be able to just sit up without my arms. They're gonna do something funny. You'll be like doing Tai Chi up top. And then one more add-on, if possible. Legs, knees to the left. Watch this right foot. Lift, release. Now I may need to lean away. Lift, release. When knees are over to the right, left ankle, inner foot, lift, release. So my challenge would be to do this with no arms. It's okay if I'm using arms the whole way. Just one more time each side. I definitely noticed that we definitely walk forward, so I usually end up off my mat on this. If you did and you need to adjust yourself, come on back to me. Left leg, lean back. Left leg folds on top or forward for a beautiful seated position. And then we're gonna move around or super gently escort the flesh out from under sits bones. And this time some bigger swivel. So let's lean back and open. Create the new spaces to breathe into. Feel free to open your throat. Right yourself through the torso and swing your arms around to the right side. Lift your head and twist. Swing around to the left, lift and twist. I really want to encourage your eye gaze here. We lift. Looking forward is real neutral for the neck. That's great. If your neck feels healthy, swivel eye gaze as far to the back corner as you get and see if you can't get your shoulders to follow with your breath, my friends. I like an inhalation to swivel and then a big to twist. Our hand, wherever it can land, whether it's a knee, the floor, or the opposite knee, will help us, just like a little lever, a gentle lever. All right, come back to the center. Stay over to the left side. Reach your right arm anywhere it feels good. Right sits bone glued down here, up and over. And then remember, exploration is key. Ask yourself, what does this posture, this breath, this unique moment teach me? Try to search for daylight again. Swivel your shoulder back. And then we fall right back into the center. Let's try to swish out our legs. Sit back. They do their own thing. And then frogs. I know it's a scary word, but it'll be a nice frog today, I promise. So we're gonna try to find our bellies. Let me show you if you don't know what frog is. And I definitely recommend having something close by if you have sensitive inner knees. I'll show you how you can use it in a minute. But you're rolling around to the corner, and it depends on how you wanna bring your knee up. I come to the floor, and then I pull my knee up for half frog. But it might need to come up as you come forward. So I might need to sweep it up, give myself some space, and land. Ideally, knee is somewhere at hip height. It can certainly be closer to armpit, but your heel is right behind your knee and your frog toes are turned out. I'll show you from the front. We're gonna go for right knee first and half frog, guys. Okay, got my froggy toes turned out, and then what do I do with my head? I can make a pillow with my hand and rest my forehead down. Depending on how you feel, you may like a Sphinx upper body alignment. That's hard. Now I want to think about getting my right side of pelvis rolling towards the floor. So I can do that by pressing through that inner knee that's on the floor. Press down, roll right hip a little bit in, and then release out. Press down, so I'm pressing down through my right inner knee. I can add on what I just did, where I press down and rotate my right heel up. None of this is necessary. We could just find half frog and hold. Let's try a couple more breaths in here. One more big breath in. Might be really hard to get out of here. I recommend bringing hands under shoulders somewhere, and then I lift up to draw my knee back in. Sit in child's pose, or if you need to sit and kneel and just kind of massage through your inner knee there. But you know what we do on one side, we're gonna do on the other. So how do you wanna get your left knee up and out? If it's just not gonna work today with your hip flexibility, you're welcome to just find crocodile pose, which is toes turned out about as wide as the mat. And then we can just rest down here. I like to do a little bowl full of Jello jiggle through my buns. But that's your option if you don't want to take the other half frog now that you know what we're doing. Got my frog heel behind my knee and my toes turned out. And I'm picking my favorite upper body alignment. I could just take a snooze. Otherwise, if I'm looking to get into my hip a little deeper, I'm thinking about rolling left side of pelvis down by pressing left inner knee down, and then release a little. Down and release a little. It may not be noticeable with my eyes, but I feel that rotation, release. If we'd like to add on, rotation down, left heel and toes rise, and release. Now, if you're up in Sphinx especially, making sure that our side bodies are long, our earlobes are away from shoulder, so I'm not collapsing in as I lift here. We're gonna go for 2 more. Okay, can we get out? We can. Hands come under, you can rest your body down. We lift up and then we pull back. We might need a moment. Inner thigh might feel it, hip flexor, knee might need some love. Guys, if you're not taking full frog today, you're taking our first offering from class as wide as you can go. You're welcome to put padding or something smushy underneath your buns to give you comfort. As wide as you can go, child's pose. Otherwise, full frog. Again, the padding can go right under knees. How do you think you can get down? I like to take my knees wide while I'm kind of up like in a wide tabletop. Heels behind knees for safety of joints, frog toes turned out. And then we're gonna come down and breathe through this. If you get there and it's like, whoo, I'm here, but this is really too hard for me. Before you leave, come forward. See if it feels better. You can stay right here. Okay, if it's all right and you're thinking you might be able to go a little more, ease your buns back towards your heels, but then pull out a little bit again. Try to free up somewhere, toes, fingers, jaw set. Try again, my friends. Back and forward. We're inviting that change, that space in. Back and forward. So that if possible, we're staying back. And then arms, can be anywhere. Some people like their forearms parallel to the front of their mat. Some like them more like a sphinx, but remembering to soften. Belly pulls up and in, but shoulders are soft and body is long. Most importantly, we're reconnecting with our breath. In my opinion, one of the most difficult yoga postures. So if you've chosen a wide child's pose, I hope you're experiencing some of the inner thigh benefits that we are when we're battling through frog. One more big breath in. So if you're frogging it with me, hands come under shoulders, and then I take my heels together, both heels together or both toes together, and then just right quick, whoosh, bring it in. Take a second. If you're in wide child's pose, bring knees in. Come back to regular child's pose. And then we're going to make our way back to seated for another little loving twist before we rest. Come down whatever way feels right to you. Right leg is bent. And then left leg is either foot in front of shin or crossed over. If it's too much, our right leg can be straight, and we can do the same thing here. When you find it, give yourself the biggest hug. Right arm wraps around or hand, squeeze in. And now we're going to begin that pulsing twist that we did before. I want you to think again, right ribs to left thigh. Left hand can go anywhere, up, out. And then when we're ready, with relaxed shoulders, we're just going to inhale and exhale. So remembering that we focused on beautiful, smooth, normal, calm, regular digestive system, massaging back into that. Neck is soft, face is neutral, or a little upturn in the corners of your mouth. 3, 2, and 1. Spin away from your left leg. So we're opening our twist, and then you could stay right here. You could just kind of gently open. Or if it feels okay, come inside like you're reaching into down dog. You can lift your left cheek. Just turn away here. Feeling a big twist through our left side body and back. when it's right for you, with a real grace and ease, coming forward and just switching this up. So left leg can be down and bent, right foot inside or outside the leg. And if it's too tough to find any of that, left leg straight. Right leg here or here. Then you just want to love on your body and give the biggest hug to your right leg. So nice and kind and compassionate, but also really stretchy in the right glute, the outer thigh. Sit yourself up really tall. Do whatever is awesome with your right hand. Might be a little booster. And then left ribs to right thigh. We go squeeze, release. Shoulders are relaxed down from ears. Jaw is unclenched. Sometimes we get a lot of pumping action. We can start to make funny faces. Remember when we played with our eye gaze with the twists earlier? On your last three, see if you can peek your eyes around and your chest and belly might follow. Last one. Unwind, keep your legs, but open your twist. Right cheek may want to rise. You might want to come all the way around here, wherever feels really nice. It's a release. Just let go. When you're ready, unspinning, unwinding, and then coming down to your backs again, whatever feels best. So I really like to try to use my core whenever I get down. So I'll put my hands on my knees and slide down my thighs, but if you need to, you can hold and walk down. You can just do it like a lifted chest, fingers reach out one vertebrae at a time. However you can, my friends, come to the floor. And then just take a moment, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and reconnect with your breath here. Take another big breath in. See if you can slow it down a tiny bit. If you can pause at the top of your breath. And if you can sip in a little extra. On the exhalation, make it slower, longer, deeper, a tiny little pause, and an extra little puff at the end. Both hands reach for back of right leg. We're going to pull in a hamstring stretch, so wherever you can hold. And if all that feels good and you want to send your left leg to hover or all the way out, please do. Really soften your right knee here. And I like to tuck my chin towards my nose and get a big upper body lift, breathing in. And then exhale, let your head relax, but maybe your leg went a little bit lower. Play with your toes, point, flex, maybe evert, invert, squinch up your toes and flare them open and see how your stretch changes with those fun movements. Let's pull this leg across our bodies. We may need to bend right leg, but left hand is going to hold somewhere, and we're just going to roll on over. Right leg somewhere towards the left side. Right arm out stretches and eye gaze looks to the right for a beautiful spinal twist. Especially in a twist here, notice how your body reacts to your breath. I love how we can feel it inflate and untwist a little, and then decompress, surrender, and soften. That's a hard spot to leave. So if you have more time in your practice than just the hour we normally dedicate together, please stay. Otherwise, look back to the center. If your leg was straight, we can keep it straight to rise, but if that's real tough on your low back, rebend, and we may need to even help our leg all the way back up. Right foot falls flat. Let's just see where we are. Left leg rises, and we're going to give it a hug. We hold anywhere with our arms, and then extend right leg even just a little bit, or a whole lot. You choose. Might want to keep it hovering for an extra challenge. Uplift your torso. Try to get the very bottom of your shoulder blades lifted. Okay, really strong here. Squeeze your leg. Head falls. That's a stretch. Then use your toes. Squeeze them, release them, point them, flex them, evert, invert. Just feel all the areas of your hamstring stretching, and then pick your favorite Pause and hold. This leg is dropping to the right side. We may want to bend it. I like to use my right hand on my leg, and then my left arm comes out to be real strong in my shoulder girdle. Now I'm definitely lowering my right heel for this one. And then let it tip over to the point where you're comfy. You can always block up or pillow up, anything you need to be so cozy here. Eye gaze falls to the left to complete your twist. Right away, it feels like you're on a raft in the ocean, or maybe the bay. Calm waves, doesn't it? I love our body's response to the breath in this. Ride the crest of that wave, and then I definitely encourage you to stay longer, but to honor your time, I'm moving us out if you have to go at an hour today. Eye gaze looks up, knee rolls back in, help it in if you need to. Extend both legs out, and I hope that they feel just a little longer than they did before. So you're in a great position if you just love corpse pose for your Shavasana. If you do, move your shoulder blades a bit under your back so your chest really opens. Tuck your chin to your chest and lengthen out the back of your neck, and then just move extremities away from midline. Any option works. If you'd like to take a supported bridge or put some stuff under your buns and extend your legs out. If you'd like to roll to the fetal position for the resting at the end of your practice. I want you to be in a place where you can soak up all the benefits of your hard work. You can reconnect with your breath, so it's somewhere that you're easily and fully breathing. And where you can take a moment to be so comfy that you fill yourself with gratitude. Gratitude for the space, the physical location you have, the time in your schedule. Gratitude for our yoga community for being here to support us and helping us, motivating us, inspiring us to be the very best versions of ourselves. And committing to our practice is no easy task. So congratulations, kudos to you for being here, really dedicating yourself to 100% self-care when you're on this mat. Beautiful job. As you're reconnecting and immersing yourself in your breath, some ending thoughts. May I be patient. May I be strong. May I be kind to myself. Be very proud of the self-compassion that you just practiced. And one of my favorite little prayers is a Tibetan Buddhist prayer. May you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed. May you be a source of healing to all beings. As you're breathing, to reawaken, I'm going to play 3 little bells. And I'll ask you to reawaken by bringing your attention to that last bell and following it all the way to the end of its beautiful little sound. With a real gentleness, when you feel ready. Begin to notice your senses, light behind eyelids, if your eyes are open, textures, colors, lightness, darkness. Feel clothing against your skin, feel temperature. Smelling anything in your area, your surroundings, anything on your body or your hair. Tasting toothpaste, breakfast, coffee. Noticing saliva. When we're really feeling alive with our senses, we begin some movement. Eyes move side to side. Fingers and toes may do a little piano playing. Wrists and ankles might circle. And when you're invigorated enough to roll to a new position and make your way back to seated, please join me in any position that really feels great. A little bow to your practice once you've arrived, whether it's hands down and our chins softly tucked in, coming inside for a moment, or palms at heart center to find heartbeat. Posture long, energized, uplifted, chin slightly tucked. Yogis, the light in me honors, acknowledges, is so inspired by and humbled to have spent the hour with the light that is each and every one of you. Namaste, my friends. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for coming to class today.